Hey guys, so today I want to make a video on my experience with hypothyroidism and how I cured or healed it when I went vegan. If you don't know what your thyroid is, it is this thing located in your neck, and it basically controls your hormones, regulates your hormones and your metabolism and all that stuff. You can either be hyperthyroid, which means it's overactive, or you could be hypothyroid like I was, and it would be underactive. Typically when you are hyperthyroid, you have a really fast metabolism, you get anxiety, irritability, you have very fast moving bowels, you tend to have a faster heart rate and all that kind of stuff. When you have hypothyroidism, it makes you tired, constipated. I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism when I was 18, and I don't know how long I had it previously, but my dad actually has hypothyroidism and he's been on medication for it for about 20 years. He's on a pretty high dose of levothyroxine. He's on 125 milligrams that he has to take every single day, and he's gonna have to take it the rest of his life if he doesn't go vegan, and he won't. So I had suffered with a ton of symptoms for most of my life, actually. I was losing hair, I was like going bald, my hair was thinning really badly, I was losing football-sized chunks of hair in the shower. I have always been constipated my entire life. I would go like 2 weeks without going to the bathroom. It was not normal. It was not healthy. Another thing that I remember was waking up in the morning was a chore. Now I know no kid wants to like go to school and wake up at 6 a.m. but even after getting like 10 hours of sleep, I would still be exhausted. Not tired, not fatigued, just completely burnt out, exhausted. I didn't know what hypothyroidism was until I discovered something on like WebMD one day. I'm like, oh my god, I have all these symptoms. And then right around that same exact time, my dad told me that he was on thyroid medication. I'm like, I totally have this. My symptoms were completely exacerbated when I went no carb, low carb, whatever, for about 7 months. That's when I got my ass to a doctor. I had contemplated going to a doctor for a while, but I just never thought anything of it. When I was 18, I had gained about 30 pounds in like a month. Losing weight was always hard for me. I was always a chubby kid, but when my weight just kind of skyrocketed like that in such a quick time, when I was running, when I was eating kind of healthy, and that happened, I was just like, holy fucking shit. That's weird. Waking up in the morning was impossible. I could not get out of bed. I just felt like a brick. Like, my body was so heavy, my mind was so fogged. I was unable to wash my hair because of how much hair I was losing when I washed it. I just was like loosely throwing it up in a bun. It would be greasy, it would be nasty, but I couldn't wash my hair because it would fall out, and I was like going bald. I got a Fitbit and I was like keeping track of my heart rate, and my resting heart rate at times was like 50 or 45 beats per minute, and I couldn't get it up. I couldn't get it up. I couldn't get my heart rate up. I would be running and it would be at like 110. I'm like, I'm going full force sprinting up a hill and I can't get it up. So I'm like, fuck it, I really need medication. I'm going to a doctor. I went to my family doctor and I'm like, you know, I think I have a problem. I didn't mention anything about weight. I just said, can you please check my thyroid? This bitch fucking felt my neck and said, you're only 18, you're fine, you don't have a thyroid problem. Okay, bitch. So for a few days there, I was, you know, eating super healthy, not eating a lot of calories, not eating a lot of gluten because I read gluten's bad for your thyroid. I was eating seaweed for iodine, exercising like a crazy person, doing all this stuff, and my weight was only going up. You know, I was gaining weight on 1,000 calories a day while running fucking marathons. I go back to the doctor with my dad, and he's like, you know, I have hypothyroidism. Could you just please take a blood test for my daughter? She's like, okay. I get a blood test, and lo and behold, I'm right, I have hypothyroidism. Shocker. I had severe hypothyroidism, and if I didn't get treated right then and there, I could have gone into a myxedema coma, which you can die from a slow heart rate, failing kidneys. I was put on 325 milligrams of levothyroxine, which is a synthetic thyroid hormone, and I took that for about 2 weeks. Typically, when you have hypothyroidism, you get prescribed 25 milligrams as a starting off dose, and then you continue like to get blood tests every 6 months. No, they put me on 325 milligrams. If a normal person took that, they would die of a heart attack. So I took that dosage for a couple days, and then I worked my way down to a normal dosage, I guess. And then I went back to get my blood tested about 5 months later. Lo and behold, I am now hyperthyroid. So I'm like, oh, fucking fantastic. I go from one extreme to the other. I said, fuck it, I don't want to be on different medications. I don't want to be getting blood tests all the time. I don't want to be experiencing 30-pound fluctuations in weight. I don't want to be tired all the time. I don't want to be anxietal all the time. Fuck medication. And I was vegan at this point. And I'm like, you know what? I'm getting off this medication. And so I did. I went about a year without getting a blood test, and I just went for my first checkup blood test about a week ago. I'm normal. I stopped gaining weight, I have energy, I'm not depressed, I'm not anxietal, I can get out of bed in the morning. I didn't have to cut out gluten or anything like that. The reason my thyroid is fixed is because I'm getting tons of carbohydrates, tons of natural energy from glucose, and I'm not putting a lot of fat and protein into my body, which will fuck up your hormones. You know how the pill can fuck up your hormones? Well, so will animal products, because they're filled with hormones. That's why fucking half the population is having thyroid problems. One thing that really helped me is just taking this. Now, it's a supplement. I don't really supplement with anything other than B12, but this is just kelp. Now, kelp does have a reputation of having like carcinogens or arsenic, which that's not healthy, but it gives you iodine. If you eat sushi, you don't have to worry about it, but iodine is very important for thyroid function, and I really, really love these things. I take one a day, and it just keeps my metabolism working. I probably eat more sodium than a lot of vegans, but I keep it low, and I drink a shit ton of water. I drink a lot more water than most vegans. So I don't know if that has anything to do with my iodine deficiency. Just taking one of those completely alleviates any worry of iodine deficiency. It's also really important to heal your gut. Now, I still do suffer from like really, really bad digestion, but it's much improved since going vegan. I mean, I go to the bathroom every day, totally normal, totally easy after having a bottle of water in the morning. Healing your gut will really contribute to healing your thyroid and not putting animal products into your body. So that's how I healed it. It only took like a year, but my levels are completely normal and I'm so happy. And instead of being on fucking thyroid medication for the rest of your life, I mean, I was 18 at the time. I don't want to be on that shit the rest of my life. Why don't you do yourself a favor? Why don't you do the animals a favor, the planet a favor, and carb the fuck up and go vegan?